Hey, what's up everyone? Cardboard.Capitan here, and today I want to share this series of matches I played against this deck. I don't know if it's the algorithm or it's just not a lot of people playing in Alchemy, but I played against the same individual running the same deck in a short amount of time. So I'm trying out Azban deserts. I used to play a lot of Sultai deserts. But I figured there's a few new cards from Duskmourn that I want to try with deserts. Plus, I never had a lot of success with the Sand Cloud Harbinger, which you'll see on the left side of my hand. So I figured, hey, let me give it another try. This would be, I say, midway through my testing of different decks and cards to support the Harbinger. But the Harbinger has ability to potentially flood out both you and the opponent, and if you set up your deck correctly, then you can negate the downside. So as you can see, I play the Harbinger, and I'm able to draw cards and gain life from it. Now, if my opponent were to play a desert of their own, then they'd draw a card, but I'd gain the 3 life. So as far as what my opponent's playing, they're playing I see up the beanstalk, I see an overlord. So chances are some form of many overlords. Uh, you'll typically see up the beanstalk paired with the overlords in multiple formats because even though you're paying the cost to get the overlord as an enchantment in play, that still counts as playing a 5 or more mana spell, so you would draw from up the beanstalk. So my opponent hits their combo, Lich's Knight Conquest, to swap out the black overlord for the red overlord, and remove my Harbinger. And I draw another Harbinger. So I'm getting extremely lucky with my Harbinger draws, because this is the third one. However, it's not enough to answer the Overlord on the other side, so I'm using a Desert's Dew here to take it out. Next turn, if I see the opportunity, I can go Virtue of Persistence as the enchantment and start bringing back the opponent's Harbingers. Or if I need to do some removal, I can do so through Starfall Invocation or Desert's Dew. So that's what I do. I'll play the enchantment side of Virtue of Persistence. I'm keeping the desert in case I'm playing another Matters card like Harbinger or other cards which you'll see later on. So I'm gonna take 9 here from an unblocked Overlord. And then the opponent also drops a Virtue. Now I'm gonna have an advantage here because my Virtue came down first. I'm considering one of their Overlords. And at the very least, I can trade here. Now I'm gonna drop another Virtue of Persistence, just in case one, my Virtue of Persistence gets removed. For 2, having 2 is better than 1. Let's see. if my opponent wants to commit a lot to their board right now, I have Starfall Invocation. Now, something that I've considered in later versions of this deck. Now, originally I had Invocation just to abuse the enter the battlefield effect of some of the creatures in this deck, but I think you have to have at most 2 maximum colors that have multiple color pips. So, for example, Starfall Invocation has 2 white pips. And what I did in later versions is put Deadly Cover Up over Starfall Invocation so that I can focus on having multiple black pips, multiple green pips, and just have 1 white pip at most. Because even though you can fetch out your different colors easily, you also have a lot of chances to get colorless land. So let's see, what do I play? Harbinger? I'm gonna play a double Harbinger here, just so I can draw a desert. Start gaining life. Okay. And opponent taps out. So let's see, as far as my sideboard goes, I have some graveyard removal, some sweepers and eclipse, hand disruption and extraction, and requisition raid for like artifact and enchantment removal. Hunter's talent, that's more for whatchamacallit, opposing tokens. I figured, okay, I've seen a lot of uh, reanimate cards in Say Its Name and the Black Overlord, so I figured, okay, let me put some graveyard removal in that. Now, the only reanimation spell I've seen is Virtue of Persistence from the side. So it might be like a slow reanimator in that they don't run any 5 cost reanimation spells. And see. So overall, I'd say a good hand. A few more grievous wounds that I want to see, but okay. All right. Filter out up the beanstalk, and I figured I wanted to go 3 deserts at first, just so I have maximum power I could get on Outcast or Greenblade, because I figured, hey, let me get as much damage as I could early on before all of these big creatures start coming out on the opponent's side. So you see another up the beanstalk. Now, I'll go Harbinger here. I could go a second Green Blade. I figured, let me start getting my disruption in. And Harbinger's gonna seed my deck with ping deserts, so when I have the opportunity, I can drop that Grievous Wound, and then start pinging the opponents with deserts. And ideally, I'd want Grievous Wound to come out on turn 6, so I can drop the wound, and then drop the desert for the turn. and then get the damage there. Now opponent has Trumpeting Carnsar, which is bad news. I don't have anything that can trade with it effectively right now. If I drop a Desert next turn, then the Green Blade can trade with it. Let's see what I do this turn. I realize, okay, I need some black here. So maybe that was a misplay on my part, huh? I do have a small change of plan. Rather than drop Grievous Wound the next turn, I can go Case of Locked Hothouse, and start dropping 2 lands per turn. Now with Harbinger, that means, since I'm playing 2 lands a turn, that means 6 total life gained, and then 2 cards drawn. Okay, of the Beanstalk from the opponent. Then the Overlord. So the Overlord of the Boiler Bilges, Boiler Bilges has been countering the Harbinger pretty effectively this game. And then their Overlord of the Hauntwoods has come out. Now I see my misplay here. I should have dropped that Festering Gulch to get that Grievous Wounds. I think even then I can use a Filter Land, Conduit Pylons to turn one of the lands into the black I would need. So I've got 2 King Deserts that would work, and a decent life lead. Okay, Urgent Necropsy. And the opponent drops their Case of the Locked Hothouse that they stole from me. So I would take 5 plus 4 plus 6, 15. So if I have no good response this turn, um, no, I'm dead. Now, Grievous Wound here won't kill. I just wanted to try it out. Probably not that smart of me. Showing my opponent, hey, I have this card you should worry about, but it's Magic, it's Alchemy. Have a little fun, right? Um, so I'm bringing back Vine Lasher. And I'm taking out some Harbingers because really the Harbinger, it excels at aggro, but this is more mid-range, late game ramp. So I need to make my moves in the early game, cool it off mid game, and then end with one strong play. So even though I could go turn 2 up the Beanstalk, I'm not going to because I really want that turn 3 Green Blade. I'm gonna keep the Lantern on top because that's a card the opponent doesn't know about, and I don't want to dump it in the graveyard. Here, I probably want some with green because I have Lumra. So I go with the green-black desert. Okay. Okay, yeah, so Vine Lasher would be fine. I don't have too much else I can play this turn, besides up the Beanstalk. I'd rather get as much damage as it could in. Now, if none interesting comes up next turn, I think I'll go double up the Beanstalk. I don't have any excess lands to use Case of the Locked Hothouse, and I'm not seeing too many no creatures in the opponent's graveyard, so Lantern wouldn't be a good play. Okay, so opponent removes one lizard, and then gives the Ghost Vacuum. So okay, that's a land. Okay, and then I'm gonna play another of the Beanstalk. Okay. Swung in for 7. Okay, Trumpeting Carnosaur. So, not too sure of the exact deck list the opponent's running, but he could always get Overlord or Bilge. No, the red Overlord's 6, huh? So you wouldn't be able to cast it. Okay, and that's game. Drop the Grievous Wound. I draw 2. Alright, I've got enough land. I can drop it. Opponent takes 1 from Vine Lasher. Half of that is 1.5. Do it again. That's lethal. So, yes, I had fun. So this deck is a bit more combo-y than the Sultai version, whereas the Sultai version you'd run the Mythweaver Puck and the Green Blade to do damage, but that'll be another video. So if you enjoyed the content, let me get the outro. You can find me on X, Cardboard.Capitan. Find me on Moxfield, Cardboard.Capitan. I'll be putting this deck list up probably tomorrow. It's just trying to catch up on these videos. And if you enjoyed the content, like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube thing, right? See you all next time.